On first, what up? What up? Yep. See, Mr. Herpes can't stop talking. Oh, he can't stop talking. I told y'all this clown likes to weaponize and use Tupac's death as a weapon and blame it on everybody that he don't like. Snoop, Reggie, David Kenner, Sharitha when he was mad at her. Everybody that he don't like, he just used it as a weapon. But it's cool. It's cool. Ever since he been talking, and you know, oh man, I had got a call today. Because everybody loved when I told everybody about how he liked to bend over and get on all fours and have his girl do with Big Black what he likes. I hear he's in there now with some dudes, and that made me think, man, all the packages I used to send. I was like, damn. All the packages I was sending, that's why I was sending no packages to those dudes when he was in jail. Because they were doing what he liked. I knew he used to always say gay stuff like, if you flip, you flop. If you flip, you flop. And he got a big kick out of saying that all the time. I always wondered what he meant by that, but now I know what he talking about. But we'll tell this little story. It's story time. We're going to get story times. Because I had a cop friend call me, and he was like, Reg, he said, I heard some things on the internet, and I've been hearing about this. And he said, I want to come clean with you. He said, Suge paid me some money, like 10 G's back in the day, because he was mad that Rock wouldn't turn his car in. And he said, he told me that Rock was riding around with the stash box and how to open it, because, nobody know how to open it. Back then in the 90s, nobody didn't know how to know. You had only the people that operated the car know how to open it. And he said he explained to Suge Suge explained to him how to open it, but he mainly wanted the car to get impounded so he could get his car back. But by then, Rock had did some, he had went down and changed it over to his name or something. But when he heard that Rock died, he said, man, I feel bad, man, that boy died. He thought he died in prison. I said, no, he ain't got out. He ain't got out. He said, oh, okay, that's good. At least he got a chance to be with his loved ones. I said, but the only reason he let him out because he was sick. And he said, you should wanted that boy institutionalized and arrested and told him all the stuff where Rock was riding around with that gun behind a car. So that nigga had a power rule, one of his little homies, put in jail behind a car and paid somebody to hunt Rock down, find him, and have him arrested. Damn, I couldn't believe that when I heard that. He said, everything was up and up, how he got it, but he said he wasn't thinking about Rock. He wouldn't even been worried about that car. So if Suge wouldn't have asked him and told him and gave him heads up how Rock was riding around dirty and had that man put in jail. I had always denied it. I didn't believe it. Uh, Anybody from the hood, everybody that heard the story of how Rock was mad and he started hollering when he first went to jail. That's Reggie and Suge. That's Reggie and Suge. I'm telling you, Reggie had nothing to do with this. But Suge Knight, Suge Knight, that's how they play. I always wonder why. Gotta tell the story because I heard Buddy Rule, Rat Dog, kids of age now. Hopefully they know. Hopefully they know the truth of how their daddy got killed. But they don't. It's gonna be story time. Tell the rumors that I heard, what I heard, and what I believe. But man, a lot of people were saying, "Red, what did you say? What you said?" And I hate saying this because I know this opened up wounds for the McDonald's family. But they all know this, and everybody know this. So Suge had promised Bountry. He kept promising Bountry a check for $1 million. And when he come home, he kept promising, telling him that got $1 million for you. But when Suge came home, he was doing bad. He didn't have it like that. We was robbing Peter to pay Paul. Just paying books. Making things happen. And so I won't let y'all hear this from somebody other than me, because I know everybody be like, Reg, you just mad at him right now, and you lying. You lying on him. You lying. I won't let y'all hear this from my boy Tata, San Diego. He the guy that Bountry brought around. Him and Bountry was tight. Anybody know about Tata from Bay Area, from San Diego? Y'all know how him and Bountry was. And that's when the guy that y'all done heard when he said this bullshit.
Tata, you bitch ass nigga, I'm gonna beat the dog shit out you.
And ain't gonna be the first
Sign
time.
a rapper.
You remember when he said that on TMZ, y'all? So it ain't like niggas just saying this shit because the niggas behind walls. My nigga Tata said this shit when he was free. And y'all know me and Tata said what we had to say way back in 2012 when that nigga was free. But you know what? Let me get Tata on the phone so y'all can listen to him, since everything Reggie Wright says a lie. Always lying on shit because I'm a scorn bitch or something. Hold on, John. Give me a second.
And regarding that video about that waiver, I called everybody I knew that possibly knew him and said, "You tell him I'll sign that waiver and we can do it wherever. Bring three and I bring three." I didn't hear back from him. I called Timmy Rue. I called uh uh who else did I call? I called Trey. I called Bob Gotti. I called you. I called Wack. I called Wacko maybe. Everybody that might know him or line on him and tell him I'll sign the waiver. I called him. No, never heard nothing back from him. He gets WWF, nickname Hulk Hogan.
Tata, what up, baby?
What up, Reg? It's been a minute. I knew I was gonna hear from you any day. What up?
Tell that story. Tell a couple stories about our snitch ass friend, Suge motherfucking Knight.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say RIP to my homeboy Bountry. That was my good buddy, We used to talk a lot. That's how come I knew so much stuff that was happening. But and I wanted, any disrespect to the family, I apologize, but I feel like it's relevant to some of the things that happened later on. So while Bountry was out, he had it kind of hard. He wasn't paying him. I think he was giving him like 500 every week or 2 weeks. And Bountry was like, don't trip though, because he's giving me $1 million when he come home. Now you keep in mind, Bountry been thinking this for about a year now. Now he finally come home, and he keep talking about this million, but I know from talking to you that it ain't even $1 million in the account. So I'm telling Bountry, you ain't getting it, bro. It ain't even there. I'm telling you, he's like, he know not to play with me like that. This carried on for a couple months. Then one day he called me and he's like, I slapped that bitch. And I'm like, who are you talking about? He said, Simon, playing with me and my money. I said, what did he do? He said he didn't do nothing. He put his head down and held his face and walked away like the bitch that he is. And that's what he told me, you know. And that was the story. Kept playing but with that money that he was gonna give him. And Bountry said,
Now, Tata, are you telling this story because you mad at him, homie?
look,
But
look, I've been told people the story right
yeah.
after Bunch called me and told me. I told people in my circle, my friends, what happened. So people been knowing this story. I guess ain't been out there. from him calling me because I'm the one that got him slapped. And I even go further. Gangster used to, my boy from the Conrads, G, he used to say, man, tell Bountry and them Suge getting cheap labor. And I used to play with him, and he used to say, bad boy pay his people pretty good, and Bountry and them getting cheap labor. Yeah, bad boy was paying. I guess he was talking about Wolf and them or whoever his security were, how well they were living compared to Bountry and them. And I know what really got Bountry hot all that time, he was taking all the money to the girl. He was dropping it off, some of it for sure. And so he was like, oh, I know he's gonna look out for me when he come home from all this money he gets been giving away. So, you gotta
Yeah.
think you'd be frustrated too if you sat there a year and you think you're suffering doing all this stuff, but at the end of the day, you got $1 million coming and you believe it. He believed that. He was dependent on that money. About that check bouncing. He wrote him that $1 million check and it didn't clear. And that's another reason why he got slapped, because he thought he had it and it ended up not clearing.
Okay,
So,
Tata, after telling this story, Suge only weapon he got is to say that you killed Tupac or Biggie. So just stand by. You're gonna be wanted for one of those.
okay, then
He gonna be weaponizing that to get everybody to turn against you.
man, I'm not worried about that. I introduced them to the Indians, right? Down here at Saquon. My boy Michael Michaels, or back then he went by Michael Pettifor, right? And he got a lot of juice up there at Saquon. And so I introduced Suge and put him in their box. And I didn't know that Suge was going behind my back, going up there telling all kinds of stuff that blew up a whole bunch of things. But one of my boys from the tribe had told me, he was like, man, why is Suge doing that? And he told me everything he was doing. So when I heard that, oh, now my blood pressure is up. I put an APB out on him, between me and my friends. I call him Hulk Hogan because he's, WWF. He's an actor because I know everything about him. So uh, my boy called me like Hulk Hogan's at the Dollhouse. That's a club in downtown San Diego. So I say, okay, give me 20 minutes. I'll be down there. I get up, I brush my teeth, wash my face, drink me a little coffee, and I head down there. Now I know I'm about to go down there and really put him in a bad situation. So when I go get to the club, I call my boy Matt Cohen. Guess he go by Hater Proof. And I'm like, Matt, come get me at the front and walk me to the DJ booth. So when I get in there, I make the DJ turn the music all the way down so the whole club can hear what I'm telling them. And I chastise him like a little boy, you know what I mean? I talk bad about him. Put it like this, if King Kong would have said what I said to him to me, King Kong would have got fired on. That's how disrespectful it was. I pushed him.
Yeah.
I did all kinds of things to him
And
that
he
he
wouldn't
just
do
went for.
nothing. And he
He
wouldn't
wouldn't do
do
nothing
nothing.
but put his head down and snuck
Man,
out
you
the
know what,
back.
Tata, we
And the
gotta
whole
say this.
and a lot of people, but let me tell you how his demeanor is. So when I first
Oh
walk
man.
up to him, he pushed his hand out to me and I slap it down.
Uh,
Right? I slap his
yeah.
hand down. He got a cigar and he's looking around. He with a few of the homies from the L, Lincoln area, right? So he look at them. He think they gonna help him. But these are some of my partners, and they look. We have a little verbal silent communication. We get an understanding. Now he knows it's just me and him. Now they point at him and point at me like this is between y'all. He put his head down. Now I go to work on him because I know what kind of sucker he is. So I chastise him. That's how come I know he got slapped and didn't do nothing. And that's why he's over there on the PC yard right now, because he can't go out there on the main line. And he sit there and make up excuses. He ain't filed one motion to
I
get off
heard
that
you heard you
yard.
got a boyfriend in there. I heard you got a boyfriend in there.
I'm gonna tell him what my boy Victor said if he said something about me. I'm not gonna say. I just put it like this. My boy Victor told me what you got going on over there in Donovan. So leave me alone, bro.
I heard what Tata say how he know for a fact Suge got the shit slapped out of him by Bountry. Did y'all catch that? Y'all hear that? Well, I had always denied it because y'all know I used to try to protect Suge and his little image. But y'all just heard it for yourselves. Suge got the shit slapped out of him.
I know for sure they fell out. I watched him slap the shit out of Suge. Nigga, a month before he got killed, nigga. Yeah, the check wasn't right. Wasn't what it was supposed to be. A bunch of got tired of nigga playing with him. So he slapped the cold like shit out of him. I mean, I felt it.
So it makes me wonder. It's like, damn, that nigga promising a piece of a movie deal and this and that when he get out to the dude that, some people have something to do with the murder of Montreal. And I never understood how he could still be communicating with this dude. But it all starting to make sense to me now. Because after he got the shit slapped of him, he cut the check, right? But I heard then he got, killed, unalive. And I heard the check all of a sudden got a stop payment on it. Or bounce. I'll be honest, I forget one of the two. And boy, oh boy. Shit is starting to add up to me now. Shit is starting to add up. Is that why Bountry got unalive? Because Suge was mad for getting the shit slapped out of him? Or because he had to cut that check for $1 million, the Bountry that he had promised him? Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know. He's still claiming for rule. Niggas let him play. I guess when you're on a yard that he's on, sensitive need yard, with all celebrity yard or whatever they want to call it, I guess you can walk around, get on the phone, and talk all tough and stuff. But man, man. Hey Hank, anybody know Hank Granberry? I hear you in there with him. You want to hear some of the stories Suge got to say about what niggas doing to you in there? Hank, Hank, Hank. This nigga talked about your brother Donald so bad. He say, Donald? He said the daddy, Donald, Hank, all those niggas is like that. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Yeah, Rock told us how you used to want to come out of the cell. They say you only go to the peel line and back to your cell. Yeah. Say I'm lying on that. You know who you be talking to. You know who be talking to Rock. He told us, dog. You bitch ass nigga. Peace, mom, first. Go take your meds so you can come home. You won't have to die in there.